Welcome, everybody, to another episode of the Genesis Mindset. So, this is January 2024, the first live episode, you could say, of 2024. Yesterday's was all the top videos from 2023. So, again, thank you very much, everybody, for the support, for the views, for the comments, for the follows, for the likes, engaging with me on Twitter, engaging with me in the comment section here, really helping me kind of identify what content that you guys like and try to mold the content towards something that you like and something that you'd be interested in. But also, obviously, it needs to be something that I'm interested in as well. Otherwise, it's going to be kind of boring to put it together, and it's not going to be very fun. So again, I want to just start off this year with a fresh mind. So I need to start with a fresh mind as well in my life, actually. Really starting 2024 with like a new beginning. It's always a good opportunity as a new beginning. It's just another day like any other day. But I would like to also reflect on 2023. And one of the big points of reflection that I'd like to go into again is what is real DeFi? I've actually just been having this discussion with one of my best friends, Hex Holmes. And he was basically like, I asked this question towards the end of the year. And he was saying, look, if you don't understand what real DeFi is, like it's this, and this. As a matter of fact, the points that he was listing off, they're all perfect points, actually. Let me just. Right. They're all perfect points. So the community's definition of true DeFi is the following. So self-custody walls. So basically no UI interference, and immutable DEX, and immutable dApps, layer one foundation, and the layer one must not have malicious MEV bots and OFAC enforcement. The anchor between all ecosystems is the bridge. Maybe one day we'll have an immutable bridge. Okay, I love that. So yeah, of course, by the definition, by the dictionary definition, yes, that is what real DeFi is. It's all of those things. But I'm not really looking for the dictionary definition of what real DeFi is. I'm actually looking for what it actually means to people. So I put the question towards him as well. Like if I asked you, what is Australia? It's like, well, what is Australia? What does it mean to you? It means something different to every single person in their own heart. There's a consciousness behind what it actually means. And so, yes, of course, Australia is this nation that's abounded by the sea, and there's trees and different kinds of plants and fauna and koalas and kangaroos. But is that Australia? I don't know. It is Australia in my mind when I think about it, but is it Australia to an immigrant who's come here in the last year? Is it Australia to an Indigenous Australian whose family heritage has been here for tens and tens of thousands of years? No, of course not. It's going to be something completely different. It's the same to me as what real DeFi is. And one of my favorite books is How to Win Friends and Influence People. Being persuasive is a very powerful skill to have. But one thing that I realize as a meditation guide, I know, we have the solution here, but you actually have to take the medicine. I've got the medicine, but you've got to come and take it. I can't force it down your throat. And that to me has been one of the most difficult things in life, is realizing that you can't change anybody's minds, but what you can do is you can touch their hearts. If you can touch somebody's heart and connect with them and have them see your perspective, that's a very, very powerful thing. I actually just read a story on Facebook about a guy who, somebody Davies, so he was an African American and he engaged with someone from the Ku Klux Klan. This guy was like a wizard. They were called wizards. That's hardcore. So they were called wizards or something like this, and he engaged with this wizard. And he went go to his house and have dinner with him and really try to find out and understand, what is it? What is it that this person hates so much about African Americans? Why does he hate black people so much? And he really tried to engage him and understand him and really meet him where his level was and intellectually discuss it with him. And over time, because of course it's a completely false perspective to hate anybody, the Ku Klux Klan wizard was his opinion changed. He was wrong. He realized he was wrong, and he managed to basically convert over 200 Ku Klux Klans, former Ku Klux Klans members away from being in the KKK because he was able to show them the light. So the light is the truth. So the light is the truth. The truth is love. There is no hate. There is no separation. But we sow seeds of separation in everything that we do, And it starts from the foundation of myself. Oh, my name is Stephen and I live here in Australia and I'm separate to everybody else. And I've got this mind world that I live inside of and I'm seeing the world based on that. This is where the seeds of separation are sown in our mind. And that's the only place where they can actually grow, in our mind. And so it really makes me wonder about this new year and some of the things that I see and what can I actually do as a force to engage with this kind of discussion? So it's a catch-22 when you see something like this. This guy, Highway Pulse, we were all betrayed. 2024, we are forking the community. We've already started. The OG cabal is revealing their loyalty. They did not learn from Richard Hartwin. Cancel of Pulsechain. He pushed PulseX hard during the sack and then was nowhere to be found. His fake math got people wrecked. So this is K4K saying that he basically put out a post saying, what do you think is going to have the most potential? Whichever has the most likes, I'm going to look into. And so it was Titanx, Cryptographics, mentioned Titanx, obviously got a lot of likes. And the Titanx community is strong. So, okay. So now there's this big over 27,000. It's another, E-hex, P-hex. It's another form of division. And so what happens here? People take sides. They come along, they take sides, they give their 2 cents. And my friend raised a really interesting point. He's like, are there people deliberately trying to divide the community, or is this genuinely what people think? It's honestly hard to tell. I would have thought that's kind of crackpot, but the amount of things that I see these days, it's like, man, cryptocurrency is just full of people that are trying to get things to their to their chain. So it's like, it could very well easily be somebody who's like paid from Solana or something. And I'm not saying that it is, so please forgive me there, Solana, but it could well be something like that. So it's like, you really don't know in this kind of a market. But then it's like, how do we choose to respond as a community? What would a community that embraces how would a community that embraces real DeFi respond to something like this? And so in principle, Pulsechain is one of the only chains that embodies the technical side of what real DeFi is. But again, I'm not interested in the technical side. I'm interested in the mind side of it. How do we actually choose to apply what real DeFi is? And is this actually real DeFi? Is it real DeFi to publicly lynch somebody and call them out and try to get them ostracized from the community and proclaim things like we are forking the community? Who gave that person the right to fork the community? Highway Pulse is well and truly entitled to his own opinions. He's come into a lot of my threads and also spread a lot of his own opinions there, and he's certainly entitled to those opinions, but I don't stand behind the decision to say we're forking the community. I don't think anybody, what does that even mean? So again, I want to put it out there. What is real DeFi? If this is real I'm thinking of like everybody, again, we talk about Hexaco. If I think of real DeFi, I also kind of like think of Hexaco. It's like this place of abundance where hexagons live and separated from the world. And I remember seeing a thread where someone was asking, I think it was Dipcatcher, was talking about gated communities. And philosophically, I disagree with all of these things. Real DeFi should, this is just my opinion. So if I was to say, what does real DeFi mean to me? Yes, it's all those technical things. No middleman, the ability to have custody of my own assets. Nobody says what I can and can't do with it. It's free flowing. I can make up my own systems. I can just do what I want. That's what real DeFi is to me, technically. But philosophically, real DeFi to me is something that's like all embracing, all accepting. It's something where it's so decentralized. It's so embracing of all the different parts of it that it's fluid and dynamic, and it can adjust and it can grow and it can adapt and it can accept anything new into it, and it can take anything out of it that doesn't fit into it. But realistically, everything should fit into it because it should be all embracing. It should be like an all embracing economic system. So that's how I kind of think about real DeFi. And so I think of the community obviously as an extension of that. You can't have the real DeFi without the community. Otherwise, it's just numbers on a screen. They don't mean anything. It's the humans which actually give it meaning. And so I just want to ask people to really think about what it means to them when they say real DeFi. Again, for me, these are empty, shallow words. It's a rhetoric that we've pushed for majority of last year. And kudos to Somi for actually suggesting. I think it was a brilliant suggestion, but it never really hit my heart because always in the back of my mind, I've always thought, are we really the best community? Like, I feel like we're just like any other community. We've got our highs, we've got our lows. When things are going good for everybody in the community, everybody's friends, everybody's drunk on euphoria. But when they're not, there's so much fighting, there's so much division. And I don't know if that's a normal thing. It's certainly, I'm not really part of many other cryptocurrency communities to be able to notice it. The only other ones that I'm really involved in, I don't see that kind of division in the community, but it's kind of like Hex, where the other community I'm in is just, it's just a, well, it's a fork of Bitcoin, but it's its own thing. So it doesn't really need to have any kind of like diversity of opinions. And diversity of opinions are great, actually. That's why I'm asking, what is real DeFi? I want to even know from people who've never even heard the term. Like, what's real DeFi? I don't know. It means nothing to me. I want to hear that. I actually really genuinely, truly want to know what it means to people, because I think the consciousness is the big part of it. It's how the mind, it's how the consciousness of the mind, the consciousness of the collective embraces what those principles are. That's the important part to me. That's the key part. That's the part which actually can be world changing. If it doesn't matter what economic system it is, if it's the best economic system in the planet, if it has the same mindset that we have now in this current world, where it's just me, take, screw all of you, I'm just looking after me and my own, then it doesn't matter what the system is. It's going to fail, in my opinion. It's going to end in the same result. I think something like I think something like decentralized finance can probably like cushion up with it. The way that it's structured can basically like alleviate those sorts of issues of like just me, like human greed. But if that is our default behavior, based on what? Based on what? Why are they our default behaviors? Aren't they just our learnt behaviors? Are they really like who we really are as humans, as beings? Do we really want this? Deep down, do we really want to be divided against the rest of the world? Or deep down, do we want to be happy and be peaceful with everybody? Maybe you've been taught to hate. You often see those things on the internet with the kids, a little black kid and a little white kid, and they hug each other and they're best friends. And you see a little quote there that says, you know, race has got nothing to do with age, and all of these things, like things about racism being taught. My understanding of the mind is it's very true. That's very true. We are just little cameras, this five senses camera that just takes pictures of everything. It's like Plato's cave. If I don't know anything and somebody tells me this person is bad, I'm going to go, oh crap, that person is bad. That's the only thing that I know about that person, is somebody's told me that they're bad. That's it. That's how life works. That's how everything in life works. But we also really have those perspectives ingrained in us. I really do believe that as well, because of the generations of separation that we've had in life. So again, without getting too philosophical, but this is actually what I'm truly interested in, is the mindset, the mind around what is real DeFi. What does that actually mean to people when we say, what is real DeFi? That's why I really genuinely curiously want to know from people, what is real DeFi? I don't think real DeFi is ostracizing somebody who's saying something about another community. How do you know? How do you know that him, K4K, going to do a Titan video, maybe then someone who knows nothing about Pulsechain watches one of his videos and goes, oh, this K4K guy, he's really onto it. He's really smart. He's really savvy. What else is he in? Oh, he's in Pulsechain. Oh, that's great. Oh, he's in, I don't know, Solana. Oh, that's great. And then they go into those coins as well. You have no idea how it's going to happen. That's decentralization. That's what it's all about. everybody's still, in my opinion, is thinking with the old mentality of like, I'm just going to scream the loudest and try and get the most attention to get the most money into the thing that I'm in so that I can extract the most out of it. But what I see again in Pulsechain is I see a thriving ecosystem. I see the Tangang, I see Rob, I see Atropa, I see Teddy Bear, I see PTGC, I see Kaimado, I saw Mega at one point. Are they still around? I have no idea. I see the PRC20s. I see people bridging over PRC20s to create liquidity pools. I see this thriving ecosystem of liquidity within. It's like it's this force of life that's there. It's all there. It's all there. It's alive. It's waiting to go. And then just outside of that is everybody, all these people in Pulsechain who are like, man, no one's doing anything in Pulsechain. We need money to Pulsechain. Pulsechain sucks. Pulsechain's the worst. It sucks. I want to accumulate more Pulsechain and PulseX. And meanwhile, there's this thriving city in the middle that no one wants to visit. You got Fame, you got Fux, you got Liquid Loans, you got all these different platforms and tokens and yield generating things. You can start moving money around, but not a lot of people are doing it. We're still waiting for the outside to come and help us. Why don't we play with what we have here and see where it takes us? If we can really kickstart this engine that we have here, then we can start attracting people into this ecosystem. So on a side note, this is an important year. This could well be the year where we have the last epic bull run for cryptocurrency. We have no idea. We got the halvening April 2024. Things might top before then. Things are getting faster. We don't know. This could be it. Are you prepared? Somebody's been having all these videos. Are you prepared? If it gets to 80,000, are you prepared to take some off? So I think we're in a unique position. I think we have a unique opportunity, but I think we still, again, need to really think about what does it actually mean? What is real DeFi? And if I can start to see what are people actually thinking, I'd love to know so I can actually start to communicate with people, but like on that level to really see where they're at. I want to actually know what it means to people, because maybe I'm getting it wrong. Maybe I have no idea what real DeFi is. I know what it is technically, but what does it mean consciously? Does it need a consciousness? I have no idea. This is again why I'm seeking to try and understand from the audience. So thank you very much. Please just leave any comment. Hit me up on Twitter, just anything, like even my friend Hex Holmes. I would have loved if he left that message in the actual comments. Maybe it's not easy to write those messages in the comments. Again, just follow me on Twitter. If you don't want to write it in the comments and you want to actually just talk about it, you can say it on the phone over the Twitter messages. I'll follow you. But I really want to know. I really want to know so I can really start to adapt the content as well, because I think this is part of the people who are really interested in this, especially like Atropa and Teddy Bear. There's a lot of people who are interested in those sorts of things. And I see that ecosystem as like an essential key to what real DeFi is. I see the totality of Pulsechain as like, yes, this is real DeFi, but at the moment, we're just saying it, but we're not actually living it. In any case, if we do get to that stage in the future, it's not going to be a straight line. It's going to be through TradFi. And I want to respect TradFi. I think TradFi, the traditional financial system, has put the world where it is. And I think it deserves to be respected for that. And I think this year, that's something that I'm definitely going to work on. One of my things last year was gratitude, but just continuing to work on that gratitude, continuing to work on the gratitude towards the world and where the world has actually brought us here. It's not like, oh, there's TradFi. It's just the world. That's how the world is. And so be grateful to the world, Stephen. So I'm telling myself these things. So being more grateful to TradFi so I can actually see it for what it is, because I spent so many years of my youth being against it that I missed opportunities, that I wasted life, actually, a lot of life. Time you never get back. So anyway, thanks very much, everybody. And a little New Year's Eve rant. Let's what is real DeFi? Again, let's think about this as a community. I'd love to know what you think. I truly would love to know. What are some of your goals for this year? This year's a very important year. This is a year where it's time for me personally. If I say what I'm going to do, I'm going to reflect on my plans. I'm going to revise my plans, make sure that everything is suitable for my plans moving forward. And that goes into my cryptocurrency, my finances, the other businesses I'm trying to set up, the business that I'm working in at the moment. Have I got them all aligned? Did they improve from last year? In my mind, it's like, yeah, they did, but what are the actual metrics? And then the gratitude, keep working on that mindset, the gratitude. But we just get up and keep moving and moving on to the next day. And that's what this year should be all about. Having the gratitude for each other, gratitude for the community, gratitude for the fact that we have cryptocurrency, gratitude for the fact that we were getting free money that we could put into cryptocurrency. Yeah, I'm going to end on that note. Thank you very much, everybody. See you tomorrow.